and I was thinking in my mind, should Chris Benoit, former former Grand Slam champion, and tragedy, should Chris Benoit, should his legacy be remembered? And let's break down everything from how he was, from Eddie died, to his tragedy with his killing his family and stuff. So obviously Chris Benoit getting pushed as a single star. He was a former tag team champion, former world heavyweight champion, former United States champion, and I think former intercontinental champion as well too. I think at that time, and obviously Chris Benoit has been in WWE from 2000 to 2007, and this man, in that short amount of time, he has done a lot. He literally has done a lot, and Chris Benoit, it's a touchy subject to talk about, like real talk. Like he's literally, I mean, he's been wrestling in pro wrestling for what 22 plus years, but his other shit is it's crazy, man. Because obviously, it's like something hard to talk about with Chris Benoit because Chris Benoit is he had mental problems after Eddie died. Like he had a whole bunch of he had a whole bunch of problems after Eddie died. But we will get back to this. So, but obviously this Chris Benoit in the WWE, he is definitely he has held a lot of titles. He's been wrestling for 22 years, yes, but he's hold like obviously titles in the WWF slash WWE, WCW, ECW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, and yes, even though he has done it all, we can't really exclude the fact that he killed his own family, bro. He's murdered his own family. Yes, you'd be like, oh, you can separate him being a wrestler from him being a murderer. Like, no, you can't, bro. You can't really separate something like that. So now, if that never really happened, now we'd be like, okay, yeah, you could probably separate him, but you can't. You can't separate something like that, bro. You can't at all, because this man literally this man literally murdered his family in daylight, broad fucking daylight. Like he literally he literally did double murder and suicide after he killed them. After he killed his wife and son, he killed himself. Literally, he murdered his wife, bro. Like you can't, for people to say, "Oh yeah, that Chris Benoit's my boy, bro, my boy." Literally, literally, Paul Heyman talked about this shit. Talked about Chris Benoit because when somebody called it, "Oh yeah, that's my boy," that's your boy for a person that literally killed his family, killed his wife and his son, and then killed himself. Be It's not your boy, bro. That's fucked up. He literally killed his wife in broad daylight, and then killed his 7-year-old son a day after, and then killed himself a day after that, bro. Like once once obviously Eddie Guerrero died, he wasn't himself after that. He literally wasn't himself after that. Because Eddie Guerrero was his best fucking friend in the WWE. In those early times, Eddie Guerrero was his best fucking friend. Because I remember, I think it was this WrestleMania 20, like, I think this is WrestleMania 22, right? Obviously, at that time, Chris Benoit beat Triple H and Shawn Michaels in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, and beat them and got the title. Obviously, I forgot who Eddie Guerrero beat for the WWE Championship, but they're both friends, close best friends, and both winning gold. Both friends winning gold at WrestleMania 22. And then after that, after Eddie Guerrero's, heart attack slash Caesar, him getting, his death just happening suddenly. Chris Benoit wasn't the same after that. He just wasn't the same after his death, man. Like it wasn't. He just wasn't the same at all. It and it talking about it is it's just terrible to talk about, literally. Because he after Eddie's death, man, nothing about him was the same, and I mean nothing, bro. And he had so much drugs in his body when he killed them, so much drugs, bro. Like literally, his wife had like 3 drugs in her system, bro. And Benoit also had the same amount of drugs, bro. Just a lot. He probably took a lot more at that time. And understand now, like WWE is excluding everything that's Chris Benoit has done. They're trying to avoid Chris Benoit as ever because no one, you don't want like a famous wrestling company like WWE getting remembered off of Chris Benoit's legacy of how he was a great person, but he murdered his own children and then killed himself, bro. Like you don't want to be remembered off of something like that. I mean, you can probably you know, watch Chris Benoit's stuff because his stuff is still on YouTube somewhere or still on the internet somewhere. But I understand why WWE doesn't want to remember his legacy, bro. I don't want to honestly just ask the question again, bro. I don't want to remember his legacy, bro. It doesn't matter how good this man was at pro wrestling, bro. He still killed his own family in broad fucking daylight. It doesn't change anything, man. It doesn't. This man still killed his family in broad daylight. His wife one day, his son the next day, then killed himself the next day. Like, you want to be remembered off of something like that? You want to be like, yo, I love Chris Benoit. I mean, even though he killed 2 people, I still love this man. No, the fuck you should not. Why the fuck would you love someone that murdered somebody? That doesn't make sense. That's like me saying, oh yeah, I love my homie. I mean, yeah, he killed like 10 people and probably shot up like some of his homeboys, but I still love him. Like, bro, he was a father, he was a friend, but this nigga was a murderer as well too. Like, you probably love Cub, but he's a murderer. He's a murderer. That's that. Yeah, I'm just saying that's like the same fucking way. Like, he's like, oh yeah, he's great in the ring, bro. He's former world heavyweight champion, bro. He had a great match. He had a great rivalry with Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, even though he killed like a couple people, but he still had a great run in WWE. Like, any person that's thinking like that, bro, please cut the fucking shit, bro. Cut the fucking shit, man. Oh God, bro. Like, no, you don't want a famous wrestling company to be remembered off of something like that, man. You don't want that shit to happen. I mean, yeah, if I have to read off this man's accolades, like real talk, like right now, like obviously this man, obviously, he was he was like a CWA World Tag Team Champion. He was an ECW World Tag Team Champion. He was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was a Junior Heavyweight Champion. Obviously, he um he was in the WWF before it was called the WWE. He was the world heavyweight champion in WCW. He was the lightweight heavyweight champion in WWF. He was, WCW World Tag Team Champion twice. He was a WCW World Television Champion 3 times. He was a WCW United States Heavyweight Champion. He was a 7-time WCW Triple Crown Champion. And then in WWE, he was a World Heavyweight Champion, Tag Team Champion, United States Champion, Intercontinental Champion, a 3-time WWF World Tag Team Champion, Royal Rumble winner, and a 12 Triple Crown winner. And this is all in a matter of 2000 to fucking 2007, bro. This is a matter of 7 years, bro, before this leads up to him killing his goddamn family. Now, back to my question. Should Chris Benoit's legacy be remembered? No. His legacy should not be fucking remembered, bro. On God. I would never I do not want to be remembered. I don't want my company to be remembered by someone that murdered his own family in broad fucking daylight, man. Fuck no. Like you can get that bullshit out of here, bro. I do not want to be. I don't want my company. If I was Vince McMahon, bro, I would erase everything, just like they did with Chris Benoit. Everything from this man, every accolade he ever won, every championship this ever won, every moment this nigga ever even had, bro. I am glad that they're erasing this man from existence because, bro, you don't want to. You don't want your company to be remembered off of being. Oh yeah, Chris Benoit was a great champion. He murdered some people, but he's a great champion. Bro, you don't want to be remembered off something like that, bro. Something serious like that can hurt your brand, that can hurt your fucking company. I am glad they don't mention this nigga to this day, bro. Even though, yes, his stuff is still out there on the internet, man. It's still posted somewhere out there. Just don't be remembered by something that fucking seriously that will hurt your brand to the point you might not even see, have people come in like to your arena again after that fucking whole tragedy happened, bruh. So I'll say good job for WWE still covering that up because they don't want to be remembered for something that serious at all ever again like that. So anything that comes seriously along that way, if anything like that happens again, obviously they know to erase them from history, from wrestling history. Cause I don't want to be remembered like that. I know if I had a company, a wrestling company and shit, I don't want to be remembered off of something like that. That's serious to the point, you're gonna lose honorable fans because of that shit. So anybody that's saying, yo, Chris Benoit, that's my boy, even though he murdered people, that's my boy, bro, leave. Leave, bro. Like leave the company. Like don't be associated with me. Don't be around me, bro. Like you need help mentally and physically and emotionally at that point, bro. So I'm glad that they're not gonna remember Chris Benoit anymore. Yes, I had to talk about it because it was on my mind, and some people is talking about it, and I just want to get my 2 cents about the whole situation, about if he should be remembered or not. So, but yeah, bro, do not remember this nigga Chris Benoit at all, bro. He's not worth it to be remembered, and it's staying like that for good.